Uh, Episode 2 of Friends of the Thing. Okay. Welcome back to episode 2 of Friends in the Bed. I'm Scott and I'm here with Dalton. And we're here talking about Paranoia Agent. Today's episode is episode 2, The Golden Shoes. This episode doesn't really follow any of the characters from the first episodes. They're in there, but not a focus at all.
Which is what the show is going to do a lot from now on.
Like, almost every single episode is introducing new characters and they're the focus.
Yes. And today the focus is on a elementary school kid named Yuichi.
Yes. Everybody at school calls him Ichi because he's Ichiban, which means number one. He's a great athlete, very popular. Good grades. An all-around A+ guy. Number one guy.
Everyone likes him.
Yep.
Including himself.
Very much so. That's a good point. Yeah, he likes himself a lot. It's not really prevalent right at the beginning, but as things progress through the episode, you realize how much he likes himself and how he thinks about himself. So, it starts off with just this introduction of Yuichi. I'm probably going to call him Ichi for the rest of the time on this, because that's what they call him in the episodes. It's just Ichi. He's a popular kid and stuff. He's got these cool golden skates. Did we talk about how they just actually, like, I think she described what Little Slugger looked like in the first episode.
She remembered. There was...
Right.
She remembered that he had these golden roller skates on when he came to attack her.
And a red hat.
And a red hat.
And a golden baseball bat.
Golden baseball bat.
Yeah, so we forgot to mention that in the last... I didn't even think about that until right now. That is the description. He's an elementary school kid. He has gold roller skates, gold bat, and a red hat. Which coincidentally is exactly the kind of stuff that Ichi owns. He has golden roller skates. He usually wears a red baseball bat, and he has a golden baseball bat because he is on a baseball team, and that's, I guess, the bat that he chose.
Right.
It stands out from everybody else. So, this episode really focuses on the pressure of being a student, a kid, just a kid in general, really, and like the rise and fall of popularity.
Right. Even, I mean, certainly the fact that he's kind of suspected. All of the other students suspect him to be Little Slugger
Because of what he wears.
Because he basically matches the description of the attacker.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a very stressful environment for him. Right at the time, he is running for school president.
Right, he's running for school president.
And his
God.
his opponent in this race.
Well, yeah, his opponent, a new transfer student from Osaka, so the countryside of, well, that's what it's normally described as. Ushiyama, who is not very popular, but he's a nice kid. He's a very good kid. He's not the most attractive kid. That's a weird sentence.
He's not Yuichi, basically.
He's not Yuichi. He's kind of the opposite of Yuichi.
He has a heart of gold.
Yes, he has a heart of gold. And as the episode progresses, Yuichi is becoming suspect of Ushiyama that he's spreading all these rumors that Ichi is Little Slugger. And you get these really fun moments of where you get like a look inside of Ichi's head. A lot in this episode. And they kind of like, that's kind of like the focus of the episode, is his internal monologues and what he thinks of himself. Like thinks of himself as a superstar and stuff, and then he pictures other people and how they're just evil and always trying to turn on him, and
It's totally how kids think.
it's how kids think. It's a very narcissistic view,
And the way
which is a kid's thing.
yeah, and the way the art style it depicts it is very interesting. Like when he's feeling like everyone's against him, then they'll all sort of
It
warp.
all gets all warped.
They all warp into like these distorted, bizarre, almost monsterish.
And he hears them say
versions.
things that they never actually said,
Right.
but what he thinks they're thinking probably. It's really, really interesting. He actually, like, you discover that he actually. Well, we can actually really get in. Like, did you think he actually had any friends at the beginning? Like, he was popular. Everyone knew who he was, but did he have any friends?
No, it doesn't come across that way.
No.
It's more just like everyone knows him, but you don't really see him interact with anyone too much.
No, not at all. Maybe it could be just because we're thrown in right at this whole little slugger aspect of it. We don't know the rest of his life.
Right.
But at this moment, he doesn't have many friends, even though it starts out with him being like the most popular kid in school. But as it keeps going on, people start just liking him more, and like really, by the end of it, like he's got nobody. Nobody is willing to like talk with him or help him, except Uchiyama-san. That kid again has a heart of gold, and like there's a point in the episode where Ichi like basically threatens. Oh no, basically he is threatening Uchiyama to stop the whole rumor thing, and doesn't beat him up, but like bullies the heck out of him. And still after that, and Ichi just being an ass the whole episode to Uchiyama-san. Uchiyama's still willing to help. He recognizes that somebody is picking on Ichi-san. He truly believes that Ichi-san is not Little Slugger, and he wants to help.
Right.
But nobody else is willing to believe it.
No. And so, after the most depressing birthday party ever for Ichi, where only his
Yeah, right. He has a birthday party where invitations are sent out to everybody in his class, and I think at the beginning, like, they were all gonna go.
Right, but then it's only his mom and his substitute teacher. Or not substitute teacher, his
tutor. His tutor.
Who will come back in the series later.
Yeah, I think the next episode, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about her more later, but, like, there's a weird feeling that, like, that actually his tutor is his only friend, actually, yeah.
That's a good point.
That is a good, like, his only friend is his tutor.
Right.
Who, the only one that he actually feels, like, comfortable enough talking to and stuff. Maybe it's because he has a crush on her, or not really. I had that vibe off of it, but that could just be me thinking.
Either way, it's the only person you actually see him communicate with in a sort of trusting way.
Yes, exactly.
Everything else is very suspicious.
But yeah, throughout this whole episode, like, I swear, like, you were sitting next to me, but, like, I kept saying over and over again, like, poor Ichi, man, like, this is just the worst. Like, he'd come to school and there'd be, like, writing all over his desk of just, like, you're a little slugger, turn yourself in, and, like, his poster for his campaign of school president would, slowly over time get more and more vandalized.
It's funny, because even though he's not a particularly likable person, he's also not a bad person.
He is a victim. Like, he is definitely a victim in this, and because he might have been like slightly full of himself before all this shit happened, but as it goes on, like as the bullying happens and stuff, he becomes more and more self-absorbed. He probably was a normal kid before all this.
Right.
But this little slugger shit, man, just like screws up his life.
Yeah. So, should we talk about how it culminates?
Yeah, like, what do you want to say? Like,
well, it gets to the point where he's kind of like, he really despises the fact that right now the only person who's helping him is Uchiyama.
Is his opponent that is everything that he is not.
That he feels is still sabotaging him somehow.
Well, yeah, he feels that way because I guess Uchiyama is actually becoming more and more popular as Ichi is becoming less and less popular, which When you're a nice person, people like you.
So in the depths of his mind, he wishes, I wish Lil Slugger would attack Ushiyama.
Right, they're walking home together. Ushiyama, for some reason, is holding a palm tree.
Yeah,
Which is addressed, like, at that moment, too, because, like, in Ichigo's mind, it's the same thing I was thinking was, why is he holding a palm tree?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a real palm tree or, like, a paper palm tree, but the thing was big, and he was just carrying it.
Some sort of prop. I don't know if there's supposed to be some sort of symbolism here.
There could be. We could have done research and probably looked into that, but, you know, whatever. We got other shit to do.
It's just kind of one of those weird things.
I like it as a mystery. He's just holding a palm tree.
Yeah.
I remember that scene. Like, I remember watching that, like, 10 years ago.
Right.
I just remember him holding the palm tree. So it's a good way to remember it. But yeah, as they're talking and walking, Ichigo starts thinking to himself.
Ichigo?
Sorry, Ichigo, that's Bleach. Ichi-san, Ichi-kun, Yuichi,
Ichi.
starts thinking that he wants to get assaulted. Oh, he wants.
He wish he was assaulted. Ushiyama was.
He wishes Uyama was assaulted so he could catch Little Slugger in the act.
Right.
And get him. Oh yeah, we forgot about the detectives in this part.
The what?
The detectives.
Oh yeah.
So before we get into the actual like, what we're about to say is Little Slugger shit, but before that, the rumor gets so bad that Ichi is Little Slugger that the police are actually become involved.
The two detectives from the first episode.
Yeah. The old guy and the young guy.
And question him. But they can't, they decide,
well, they know that he's not by the end of it, but, like, Ichi is thinking, going into this, which was really fun, it was really an interesting setup, was that going into this, like, oh, I can go get interviewed by the detectives, and they can prove that I am not Little Slugger by this interview and dismissing me. Everything will be fine after this. And then it turns out it actually made it a lot worse because
they still don't know who Little Slugger is.
They still don't know who Little Slugger is, and he was questioned by the police. And kid rumors, man.
Yeah,
they're bad. But yeah, jumping ahead back to where we were. Where were we? We were.
So he gets Little Slugger comes.
Yeah, he wishes that Okiyama, his opponent, the unattractive opposite of Ichi, gets attacked. Gets assaulted, so Ichi can catch Little Slugger in the act and bring him to justice, and he'll be a hero, and everyone will like him again. And he'll be like, oh, and he, like, in his head, he sees himself being interviewed by the reporters on TV and stuff like that. He's like, oh, I hope for the swift recovery of Okiyama, but I'm glad that justice was brought down upon Little Slugger.
Right.
And stuff. And he's just so full of himself. He's just kind of standing there, just kind of looking up, thinking about it. He's totally lost in this dream.
Meanwhile, the real Little Slugger has already hit Ushiyama.
Rolls right past Ichi.
Rolling right past Ichi, runs to catch him, but it's too late.
Yeah, rolls right past Ichi, attacks Uyama, and then Ichi's at first really, really happy. So my wish came true.
Yeah.
And then he can't catch him. He can't get to him. He just Little Slugger's on roller skates and Ichi's walking. So
and that makes it even worse.
And he just now there's no witnesses. Everyone thinks that he attacked Uyama.
And he just locks himself up in the house and won't leave.
Yeah, do you want to explain the last couple minutes of this episode?
The last couple of minutes is
trippy.
What I mentioned earlier, how when he's feeling suspicious of everyone, the sort of his view of the world gets all distorted into this weird, giant, shaky figures of people.
Everything is curving and
distorted, and
the colors are very bright and unsettling.
They get bigger than him. Their eyes turn all white.
Yeah, there's no pupils.
Yeah, and so the last few the end of this episode is
like the last few minutes. All this.
Yeah, it's all in this weird view where his mom's trying to get him to go to school, and her voice is very slow and deep. And he runs out of the house. Then all the students are still accusing him.
Mm-hmm.
The detectives are there accusing him of lying about not being Little Slugger. And he's about to break, and then suddenly
Little Slugger comes out of nowhere and hits him.
The screen turns black, and you hear all the kids yelling, "Ichi!"
Right, that's how it ended. Because like it starts with everyone chanting like Ichi, Ichi, and then that's how it ends as well.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about those last 2 minutes is that I'm not sure like everything he saw was actually happening.
Oh, definitely not.
Because we saw the detectives. Were they? Do you think they were actually there?
I don't.
Or was he just kind of freaking out?
I would say what happened in reality is probably his mom wanted him to go to school. He freaked out, ran outside, and got hit.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
He was just probably stumbling along the street, just like lost almost. Just lost in his own world and up here.
But what he saw was he was being accused by everyone.
Mm-hmm. And then just whack! Then just that eerie, just everyone chanting Ichi.
Yeah.
And then just that unison, Ichi! Oh, it was pretty unsettling. The episode's really fun, but that last part's just really trippy. Very trippy.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends. Like, there's nothing after the chanting of the Ichi, just goes right to the credits. But yeah, I like this. This is probably one of my favorite episodes.
It's up there.
This is a good hooking episode. Like, oh, what is going on in this show? Well, no, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, still, there isn't anything crazy about this show, about this episode. Like, there isn't a talking dog doll. Everything
could be like
pretty normal in a way.
It was in his head the whole.
Yeah, like there's a lot of distorted stuff. Like you'd see what he'd be thinking about, but beyond that, everything else, like, actually happened. Like there's definitely he's not hallucinating things that aren't there.
Right.
Unless the dog is there, but you don't know that.
We'll get to that later.
Truly, I don't know that. It's really confusing. But yeah. Oh, actually, we hit our time. Cool. But you like the episode, right?
Yeah, this is also one of my favorite episodes. Mm-hmm. This is probably the one that made me decide, all right, I have to keep watching this show now.
Right. So okay. Well, we'll end this up. Two guys in a bed. That's all we got for right now. Next episode's gonna be episode 3. What's it called? Double Lips. So, tune in until next time. I'm Scott, and this is Dalton. So, see ya!